In this video, we're going to build a Trello-like Kanban board. The end result won't look exactly like the Trello board, but it will be close. We'll have horizontal scrolling, vertical scrolling, edit buttons appearing on card hover, and so on. Enjoy the video. The first thing I'm going to do is open my Tailwind config file and remove the Nonito font. We'll just use the default ones. Then I'll open the web routes file and add a new route. We'll do route get board function, and we'll simply return an inertia view. Then I will go to resources.js pages and create a new component called board.view. We'll use script setup, and I'll add a template. And here we'll have a container to hold everything together, a header, and the main section. Let's go into browser to /board, and here it is. Now the container will be a vertical flex, so we'll do flex call, and it will need to fill up the entire screen, so we'll do H screen. And let's also add a background, BG blue 600. The main element will need to grow to fill all the available space, so we'll use flex1. And then to prevent the header from shrinking, we'll do shrink 0. Inside the header, we'll have the logo. Let's say Kanban board. And the navigation with my boards. And a button that will become a drop-down at some point. Let's take the elements one by one and style them. For the header, we'll have flex and justify between to push the elements to the side, BG white, and let's add some padding, PX4, PY3. The logo will be text to Excel, font black, and let's say tracking tight. The link will be text SM, font medium. Let's add some padding and rounded MD, hover BG gray 100. That looks right. Now for the image, we'll do H9 width 9, inline, and then rounded full. Let's add some left margin to the bottom. We'll do ML3. And that's pretty much it. Inside main, we'll have a container that will need to be a vertical flex. So we'll do flex call. And we'll need to fill up all the space. So we'll do H full. Now inside it, we'll have one section for the board title and the settings. So we'll do div and say title and settings. And another one for the cards. Now the cards section should grow, so we'll do flex1, and we'll need to prevent this from shrinking using shrink 0. Here we'll have an H1 for the title, and a container for the settings button. Let's style the elements. We'll start with the container, we'll do flex, justify between, item center, and let's add some padding. For the title, we'll do text to Excel, text white, font bold. The button will have a BG white with opacity 10, and then on hover, we'll do BG white opacity 20. Let's add some padding, font medium, text SM, text white, rounded MD. Now for the settings button, I want to add an icon, something like 3 dots. So I'll use hero icons, which can be installed as a view library. So I'll open my terminal and say npm install hero icons /view. Let's search for the icon. I'll do dot. And I want this one right here. And to use it, I can go inside my setup and say import dots horizontal icon from hero icon /view/solid. Now I can grab this and use it as an element. And let's give it a width of 5, h5, and let's turn this into an inline flex. Item center, and add a span so we can add some left margin. That's better. Let's move on to the cards. We'll have an inline flex, which will need to take all the available space, so we'll do h full. And inside it, we'll add our first card list. We'll have a container and then a section for the title and options, and another one to hold the card items. The card items will actually be a list, so let's do li, and then we'll need another section to hold the button that we'll use to add more cards. Let's also add the title and options, so we'll do h3, let's say backlog, and a button for the options. And let's style the items starting with the card list container. We'll do width 72, bg gray 200, and this will be a vertical flex, so we'll do flex call, rounded, MD. For the title and options container, we'll do flex item center, justify between, and let's add some padding. We'll do px3 and py2. That looks good. Then for the title, we'll do text sm font semi-bold, text gray 700. For the options, we'll actually use the 3 dots icon. So let's grab this, put it here. And to style the button, we'll do bg gray 300 with 8 h8, rounded, MD. And then to place the icon in the middle of the button, we'll use grid, place content center. And let's use the gray background on hover. Here it is. Moving on to the card item, we'll wrap this within an anchor tag, and we'll do class text sm, and then here we'll do bg white. Let's add some padding, some shadow, rounded MD, and then border B, border gray 400, 300. Also on hover, we can do something like bg gray 50. Okay. Here we should also have an edit button. So let's add it. I'll go here and add button, and I'll import the pencil icon from hero icons. Grab it. Place it here. Let's use width 5, h5. And then to position the button, we can do absolute, top 0, right 0. And let's also add relative to the parent. Let's continue with some width 8, h8, bg gray 50. Let's center the icon using grid, place content center. Let's change this to top 1 and right 1 to have some spacing. Let's continue with rounded MD, text gray 600, and then on hover we'll do text black and hover bg gray 200. Let's test it out. Here it is. But then again, the icon should only be visible when we hover the card. So now it should be hidden. We can do that using group hover. But first I will add the group class to the card. And this button will initially be hidden. And then we'll turn it into a grid on group hover. And here it is. Now let's duplicate this card and add some margin between the items. I'll go here and say space Y3. And let's also add some padding to the parent. We'll do PX3 and PB3. Moving on, let's style the add card button. But before that, let's import another icon, the plus icon. Grab it. Go here, paste it in, H5 with 5, and then wrap the add to cart text within a span to add some margin. The button will be flex items center. Let's add some padding, text SM, font medium, text gray 600, and hover will turn it into text black. And let's also change the background. We'll do hover BG gray 300 and rounded MD. Let's make it width full and add some margin top here. We'll do class empty free. There we go. Now to prevent the list from stretching all the way down, we can go to its parent and add item start. And since we are here, let's also add some padding. Next up, let's make it so we have a really long list of card items. And we can use JavaScript for that. I'll go here and do a v4 item in array from, and we'll pass it an object with a length key. Let's say 100. And there we go. As you can see, this worked, but it broke our layout. To start fixing it, we can go to our main element and add overflow hidden. And we'll also add that to the card list container. And this fixes it a bit, but the list is still not scrollable. We could try adding overflow Y scroll or overflow Y auto. But this still wouldn't work because there's nothing constraining the parent. So we need to go to the parent and say min or max age full. So this will constrain the parent. And now our list is scrollable. However, I wouldn't want to scroll all the way down just so I can see the add to cart button. So let's add another container here and move this here. And then this will become a flex. And this will push all the way down. We'll also need overflow hidden here. And there we go. Next up, we'll do that loop again, but this time on the horizontal axis, such that we have more than one card list. We'll go here. Where is it? Here. And we'll do v4 item in array from. Let's give it a length of 10. And here it is. Let's add some spacing using space x4 on the parent. And if I try to scroll to the right, it doesn't work. That's because we have this overflow hidden class. We should replace this with overflow x auto. And now it works. Finally, let's change this back to 1 and add another list with an add list button. So I'll minimize this and say div with 72, and inside it we'll have a button. We'll use the same plus icon, and we'll do with 5, H5, and then span. This will be a flex. Items center, BG white 10 as opacity with full. On hover, we'll do BG white 20 as opacity. Text white, let's say P2 as padding. Text SM, font medium, and rounded MD. Okay, this looks nice. Maybe let's use add another list to have the same label as Trello. Okay, let's go back here and let's add, let's say 7, and view this in a larger browser. Here it is. We have horizontal scroll, we have vertical scroll, we have an edit button, we have an options button, and we have an annoying thing, which is this scroll bar right here. I would like it to appear more to the right. We can go here, and instead of applying the padding here, we can apply it here. And there we go. And we should also add it here on the add to cart container. And we are done. This is how you can build a Trello-like Kanban board using TailwindCSS. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, share it, subscribe, click the bell button, all that good stuff. Bye!